Today we are taking a look at Archcraft, one of those distros that just looks incredible right out of the box. If you have ever wanted the power of Arch Linux but without spending hours rising your desktop, this one might be exactly what you are looking for. And before we get started, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, it really helps the channel grow. Alright, let's get into it. So what exactly is Archcraft? Archcraft is a minimal Linux distribution built directly on the top of Arch Linux. It was created and maintained by a developer named Aditya Sakya, also known as Adi 1090X, and the whole idea behind it is simple. Take Arch Linux, pre-configure it beautifully and give it to users without making them set everything up from scratch. Now, unlike most distros, Archcraft doesn't ship with a full desktop environment like GNOME or KDE. Instead, it uses window managers, specifically Openbox and Bspwm in the main edition. These are lightweight, highly customizable, and they look absolutely stunning the way Archcraft sets them up. The target audience here is users who appreciate minimalism, care about aesthetics, and want a fast, clean system. If you are coming from a beginner background, there's a bit of learning curve, but it's not impossible. And if you are already comfortable with Linux, you are going to feel right at home. One more important thing, Archcraft is a rolling distro. That means no version upgrades, no reinstalls. You just keep your system updated and you always have the latest software. Now let's talk about installation. Archcraft gives you two installer options, Calamares and ABIF. Calamares is the graphical one, very clean, beginner friendly. ABIF is the advanced text-based installer, more suited for experienced users who want more control. For most people, Calamares is the way to go. It's straightforward. You select your language, your time zone, your disk partition, and you are done. Nothing complicated. One thing to keep in mind, Archcraft currently doesn't support the BTRFS and JFS file systems during the installation due to some bugs that cause unbootable systems. So if you were planning to use BTRFS, you'll need to stick with ext4 or XFS for now. Also, the default login credentials for the live sessions are username is live user and password live user, LIVEUSER, all lowercase. You can find the installer in the app launcher or through the Openbox right-click menu under the application and then system. Overall, the installation experience is smooth and pretty quick. Alright, now this is the part I personally enjoy the most, the actual desktop experience. When you first boot into Archcraft, the very first thing that hits you is how clean and polished everything looks. This doesn't feel like something someone just threw together. It feels designed, and that's exactly what it is. Every single element on this desktop has been carefully configured. Let's start from the top. At the very top of the screen, you have a polybar panel, and this is not your average panel. It's packed with information all laid out neatly in a single bar. On the left side, you have a Archcraft logo button which you can use to access the menu. Right next to it are your workspace indicators. Those colored dots represent your virtual desktops, and you can switch between them just by clicking on them. Then you have a gear icon showing your CPU uses in real time, followed by RAM uses and your storage uses. In the center of the panel, you have the clock, and right next to it, this is a nice touch. There's a built-in media player module. It shows the name of the currently playing song and gives you playback controls, play, pause, next, right from your panel. On the right side of the panel, you have volume, brightness, Bluetooth status, network status, and battery, all as individual modules, each with their own icon and live values. And at the very far right, there are quick action buttons for power and locking the screen. Everything on this panel is functional, readable, and well spaced. It's generally one of the best pre-configured polybar setups I've seen on any distro. Now let's look at the bottom. There's a dock centered at the bottom of the screen with your most used application shortcuts, file manager, terminal, browser, and a few others. It's minimal, it's clean, and it stays out of your way when you have a full screen window. It gives the desktop that almost macOS feel like at the bottom while keeping the top at the panel for all your system information. Now all of this is fully customizable. Archcraft comes with a built-in theme and style switcher. You can change the entire look of the desktop, the panel colors, the wallpaper, the app launcher style, the window border, all from a single tool without touching any config file manually. There are multiple pre-built themes included, and switching between them takes just a few seconds. The app launcher is row-free, it's fast, it looks great, it supports searching for apps instantly. The right-click desktop menu in the open box gives you quick access to app categories, settings, and system options without needing a taskbar or dock for everything. For pre-installed applications, you get a file manager, text editor, terminal emulator, web browser, screen recorders, and many more. Everything you need to get started right away. Installing new software is easy. Archcraft uses Pacman as the package manager, and it also comes with chaotic AUR enabled by default, which gives you access to a massive library of pre-built AUR packages. Flatpak, Snap, and AppImage are also supported, so you have plenty of options when it comes to getting software. Overall, the UI and UX experience on Archcraft is generally impressive. It manages to be minimal and lightweight while still looking and feeling like a complete, well thought out desktop system. Under the hood, Archcraft is pure Arch Linux. It uses Pacman as the package manager, and since it's a rolling release, you are always getting the latest upstream packages. It includes the chaotic AUR repository enabled by default, which is basically a pre-built binary cache of popular AUR packages that saves you a lot of compilation time and makes the overall experience smoother. For the compositor, Archcraft uses PCOM, specifically the iVag1 fork, which gives you smooth animations, dual quasi-blur effects, and rounded corners. Everything feels very refined visually. Since it follows Arch's bleeding edge nature, you are going to get the latest kernel and latest software updates regularly. This is great for hardware support and having the newest feature, but it also means occasional breakage is possible, just like with any rolling release distro. Having some comfort with the terminal and package management is definitely helpful here. Performance is one of Archcraft's strongest points. Archcraft is extremely lightweight. It can run comfortably under 500 MB of RAM at idle, which is impressive. Boot times are fast, and the overall desktop responsive feels snappy and smooth. Because it doesn't run a full desktop environment with all background services that come with GNOME or KDE, the system stays lean. Window managers are inherently lighter, and Archcraft takes full advantage of that. Whether you are on an older hardware or a modern machine, Archcraft is going to run well. It's one of those distros where the performance really speaks for itself. Now let's talk about what's new in the latest release, the May 2026 ISO version 26.05.12. The ISO profile has been updated to Arch ISO 88-1. The base system is updated with the latest packages, and all AUR packages have been refreshed. In the Archcraft Prime Edition, Hyperline configs have been updated to 55.0, which includes a new scrolling layout. The River Window Manager package has also been updated to River Classic. Startup and theme scripts have been improved, and the Foot terminal configuration has been updated as well. For the Wayland Special Edition, similar improvements carry over. All the Wayland compositor configs are updated with small refinements and bug fixes throughout. Even in the main free edition, the update brings cleaner, more stable base along with various under-the-hood improvements. Archcraft is a great distro, but there are a few things you need to know before jumping in. First, it's not a beginner distro. The window manager workflow, especially Bspwm, takes some getting used to. There's a learning curve if you are coming from a traditional desktop environment. Second, BTRFS and JFS file system support is still not available at the install time as mentioned earlier. This is a known issue the developer is working on. Third, if you are planning to use the Wayland compositor on Archcraft Prime or Wayland Special Edition, be aware that they currently don't work on virtual machines and may have issues with NVIDIA graphic cards and Iris Axis GPUs, so check compatibility before you go for these editions. And finally, because it's a rolling release based on Arch, keeping your system updated is important. Occasional package conflicts or minor breakage can happen, especially after major updates, so it's good to stay informed and check before updating. So final thoughts on Archcraft. This is one of the most visually impressive and well configured minimal distros I've come across. The fact that you get a beautiful, fully functional Arch based setup right out of the box without spending hours configuring everything yourself, this is genuinely impressive. The performance is excellent, the customization options are deep, and the rolling release model keeps everything fresh and up to date. If you are someone who loves minimalism, appreciates a clean and aesthetic desktop, and is comfortable enough with Linux to handle a rolling release, that's it for the video. I hope you found this review helpful and it gave you a clear idea of what Archcraft is all about. If you have any questions, thoughts, or if you have already tried Archcraft yourself, drop a comment below. I read every single comment. Don't forget to like the video and share it if you think it could help someone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.